Good afternoon, folks. We are live and up and running once again. Let's get everything switched over and loaded up, and we'll get back to the grind in more Warriors Abyss. Alright, we'll leave the volume there. We're running through a different royalty-free playlist today. Alright, it's been a bit since we last streamed this. There's actually been a small update that's come out. It was at the end of February, and I don't think we covered it. But it made some small tweaks and added a new character. We can talk about that. I also don't know if I finished out the tree. I think I had everybody's weapon on the last stream. If not, I might have bought them. I don't remember what we did last time because we were focusing on the main update. But the new character that was added was the one that won the poll. This is Dongbai. This is Dongzhuo's granddaughter. And I unlocked her weapon. She's not transcended. Maybe we will test her out later. I actually want to test out this dude. I was reading some interesting feedback from people on the subreddit talking about the alt version of Yuan Shao. And this only shows... This is his Origins costume, not his regular version. So I'm assuming it's not going to show the toggle. But let's transcend him for a run and see. I don't know anything about this character. He's one I haven't played with yet, but I've heard you can build him really nutty. Let's see if we can figure out why. Increases total number of emblems if you have 12 or more of the same emblems. Okay, it might be that. Let's see what Transcendence does to his skills. 30% if you have 12 or more of the same. Okay, so you hit 12 with something and you get a 30% boost across the board. Summon hero attack goes up by 20%. Plunges health by 5% after every 1,000 consecutive hits. Attack and attack against enemy barriers by 20% for every treasure. So you go through full rounds, 3 treasures. That's 60% attack and attack against barrier boost. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so 30%, 12 or more. I wonder if that stacks. Probably not. But if you combine this guy with Zul, see, I wonder if that's 40% total emblem boost, I bet. We can try that. That's the build I want to test. Although I don't think we have his bond high enough. Now, one thing that was part of the last update that I don't think we've talked about on stream is a new customization setting for original mode, and that lets you change the level bosses. So we normally fight the different demons. Now it throws in a bunch of Samurai Warriors characters as bosses across the different phases, which is pretty cool. I don't know if I've seen them all yet. So we'll go in, we'll T5, and we'll test out Yuan Shao for his record of sin. He's definitely kind of built around summons. But we can try direct damage too. Let's see. Too bad we don't have a record of sin that boosts for every charm. Strengthens effective treasure. I haven't tested that one yet. Assemble boost. Let's see. Flower of War. What I really would like would be 1% per charm emblem, because we'll probably max out charm. Nah, I don't think I have anything like that. I guess we could do this. This won't give us a flat damage increase, but it'll make it easier to max out charm. I wonder if that makes more sense. Maybe we'll go vigor. Okay. Companion. What bond are we at with Zoltzi? Have anybody at bond 3? Okay, I think out the gates he gets the 10%, and then the slot that says bond level 3, that's an additional skill that's unlocked. I had to check with Chen Gong. So it's an additional skill you get upon activation, or do you get the top 2 and then the bonus skill on activation? I guess we're gonna have to go Slay and Independent just to make sure it kicks in. That's 40% potentially. We'll go T5 to test, since Yuan Shao has no cumulative levels. I get to learn his moveset. People are saying this particular character version from Origins is more busted than Zoltzi. We'll see. He is a little bit slower. Okay, we'll take crystal beads. Her goal is going to be getting something to 12. We'll just have to see what we drop. We'll see if we can build for damage. This guy swings pretty slow. Maybe medium. Okay, that's got some good cover. That's his C2. That's C3. Yeah, I think C2 is probably the best. We also need skill. What's his moveset look like? That's very fast, but only seems to hit once. I'm gonna try and build this guy for damage instead of charm. It's like a big Nova all the way around him. I'm gonna save that for a skill tree. Oh, that's lucky. 2 of those now. Okay, that's C4. Looks like we're gonna go Slay Element. That'll get us to 6. We need an independent too. Okay, going in the boss. Let's see who we pull. Kunoichi. Alright. I've seen Hanzo and Kunoichi so far. The first boss. She's quick. Let's make sure we don't get boxed in. a lot of hits in the Super Muso. I'll put her near death. Got it. Not sure if DPS is quite where it needs to be, but it's only the first boss. Plus we get a boost from the treasure when we get it. I see Tin Man's here. What's up, Tin Man? Got the hydrate. Good to see you again. Welcome to the Abyss stream, where we do nothing but grinding and talk about builds. Okay, treasure-wise, we'll take red hair. Cooldown reduction, slots 2, 4, and 6 by half. Okay, it's pretty fast. Go for the gamble. Nice. 80-20 is pretty good odds. Chillin'. Chillin' is good for Sunday. Have you seen me stream this before? I have been streaming this game for a while over the course of the last year. Usually every other week or so, I'll jump in here and grind, or if an update comes out. But if not, I can explain kind of the premise and what we're doing here, since there's a lot going on the screen. Hits. Take skill charm. It's fine. So far, our element is our highest number of emblems at 6. We need to hit 12. Okay. We'll see if RNG is kind to us. Ooh, that's a pretty big area of effect. Bonus mission, take out the Oni. Alright, I can kind of explain the premise once I get through this particular round. Take out this mini boss first for the mission. Is my damage going to be high enough to do it? Alright. Okay, so Warriors Abyss, now that things are clear. This is an action roguelite game, similar in genre to Vampire Survivors or more recently Ball Pit that I've been playing. The premise is very similar, but the layout of the game is very kind of distinct. If you've ever played a Muso game, specifically in the Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors franchise, this game is all the characters come from Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors with some guest characters from other games too. The whole point of the game is to go through different floors of what are called phases in the upper right. I don't think I'm blocking anything besides my emblems. There are 8 phases per zone, if I'm remembering that correctly. We have 4 zones, 8 floors per zone. At the bottom, each phase is a boss, and then you move on to the next one. I was fighting a large version of that Oni in the first zone. This icy one is the second zone. We fight waves of enemies in each phase, and the combos we have are a mix of light and hard attacks. And the characters that you see on the toolbar underneath that empty bar that doesn't have anything in it right now, I'll mention in a sec. At the end of a floor, after we clear all the enemies out and we're done, we get, usually, unless there's another reward, we get these crystal saplings that show up as a reward for the floor. When we open it up, we get a choice of usually standard 3 characters to quote-unquote recruit into our army. And each character, and these, again, coming from Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors, they have emblems that go along with each character. Those little circles underneath their portrait, those emblems correspond to different stat parameters. And as we accumulate more of those emblems, it unlocks special skills for the run that boost our abilities. So things like Vigor, the fist, gives us damage, attack range, and a bunch of other things with a max of level 18. We've got skill, which affects attack speed and attack damage against barriers, and other ones like defense or strength, which is defense, and some summon boosts and speed. Our super moves are primarily affected by wisdom, and charm is our summoning abilities, which I'll explain in a sec. The main quote-unquote elements that you obtain emblems for are fire, ice, wind, bolt, and slay. And the elements have different specific breakpoints where they unlock skills as you get more of them. The whole point of the game is to recruit more characters into your army, as it were, to build your skills around certain strategies depending on the character you're playing, and synergize your build so that you're able to clear the lower floors, because it gets harder as you go. In addition to there being like a master roster of characters you're recruiting in your quote-unquote army, the portraits at the bottom are your main squad. You can have 6 characters slotted in as your main squad, and whenever you end a combo with a heavy attack that corresponds to the number in the combo, it summons them to help you out. So if I were to go to light heavy, that summons Weian in the first slot, and he pops out, he does a slay element attack, and then he's on cooldown for about 30 seconds. If we go 2 lights and a hard, we get Maeda Keiji. And so all of the attacks correspond to finishers with the hard button on that portrait, and we have 6 callable characters that pop out at the same time. There are ways to build around maximizing summons. Usually some characters that will have cooldown that reduces the time it takes for the character to recharge and pop out again. You can basically make it so you have infinite summon spam, which is that pretty fun way to play the game. But part of what goes into stacking and maximizing damage is to switch between combos and then calling your characters out on the field like so. And it gets pretty busy, as you can see all the stuff popping off. But it greatly increases the damage you're doing as the waves of enemies get more dense and their HP scales higher. That's Yuan Shao's Musou. It's kind of a real quick burst all the way around him that comes out very fast. Does damage and then knocks everyone away. And on certain floors, after we clear the target, which is in the upper left, we have a bonus mission where you either have to kill a certain number of enemies or take out a certain amount of time. That little bit larger enemy that went flying was the decoy enemy. That was our target. And if we clear the mission, we get a reward. It could be a health power-up. It could be an emblem. There aren't any more unique weapons to unlock, but we'll get some sort of bonus explore the floor, and then we get our sapling. Now I'm thinking our first target to hit level 12, when we take Kotaro, he gets us 1 speed emblem, 1 slay emblem that gets up to 7. And on the right, when you hit a breakpoint for unlocking a skill, it'll tell us what it is. So we would get 3 speed emblems, which gets us a little bit more distance on our evade, and then 7 with slay, which increases probability to proc its ailment, which is wound. And we're trying to hit 12. Internet says, okay, I probably wouldn't be too great at this kind of game. It sounds complicated, but it's combat-wise not really that complicated. The whole idea of builds and whatnot is a little bit confusing at first, but after you play through it a bit and kind of learn how the whole adding characters to your squad and everything works, it's got a lot of different ways to sort of build and play through the game. There's a lot of characters. You'll see once we get done with the run. But I really like this. This is one of my favorite games in the kind of action roguelite genre now. And they're actively updating it all the time. Adding new characters, adding new modes. So there's a lot to do. Base game, I think, was like $20. The last round of DLC was a bit more expensive. But I've definitely got my money's worth out of this. Oh, yeah, I guess I should point out, like, on the Ball Pit stream, the music you're hearing isn't from the game. I heard it so much that I have it swapped out for a royalty-free electronic playlist. So this music's not from the game, but it kind of fits, like, heavy electronic music. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get... It's all speed. Yeah, it is. What I usually do on my streams where I'm not playing in-game music is I'll rotate between a couple different royalty-free playlists, and this is one of them since I've probably put like 300 plus hours into this game, and I heard the music for a while, which is all tracks from the different Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors games, and the music is very good. I just heard it for so long and wanted to switch things up a bit. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I should point that out whenever people are checking this game out for the first time. Alright, taking hits. Too many hits. That is one of the mini bosses. That's the Zone 3 boss. On this difficulty mode, the different phase bosses can show up as just regular enemies you encounter, or targets for the bonus missions. It's kind of annoying to deal with the Wraith, so I'm kind of avoiding it. We don't really get anything for killing it. It's just there to be a nuisance and an HP sponge. Okay. Range up is good. I don't know that I like Yuan Shao's combos too much. That one's pretty good. And C5 takes a while to chain up to, but that has a bit of a burst around it. Ooh, we can get Zelon. So this guy, who was part of 2 updates ago, is one of the kind of unique characters from Dynasty Warriors Origins. He has 3 emblems, which is a little bit rare. We get Vigor, Skill, and Charm from this guy, which is pretty good. And we do need 2 more independent. Oh, we could burn 1. So these events that pop up randomly on each floor give you kind of a choice of temporary buffs, or sometimes they'll give you little things that boost your playthrough, but it's a probability roll. These will go for the highest. Attack up for 3 phases, 3 floors. But the character designs are pretty cool. You're going to see kind of a mix of the Origins art style, which is a little more realistic than the base art for the characters. But in general, yeah, the design is pretty on point for the Musou franchises. I hope they add characters from the non-canon Orochi, Warriors Orochi series, because that has a bunch of like mystical and like demon realm characters, which are pretty cool. The mainline Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors games are all based on actual historical figures. Let's see, Lu Lingqi doing a lot of speed. Alright, that's fine. You can't see my emblem count, I'm realizing. It's behind my model. But it gives us a wrap-up of all of the total emblems we've got, and we want to hit 12. The closest one is the Fist Icon Vigor. That's at 10. And then Slay, the purple element, is at 9. Okay. Let's gamble at the Cauldron. When this shows up randomly as a floor choice, instead of having to fight our way through enemies, we have what's called the King's Cauldron. And you can sort of see it if I lean to the side. Right to the right of my shoulder, there's a little number. That's a currency called Tears of Blood, which is like a little red bag. A bag of red crystals. Those you accumulate throughout the run by killing enemies. And you spend them at the King's Cauldron, which gives you a choice of certain random characters to buy and recruit into your army outright. Or, which is probably more important right here, a formation. I'll explain what that is in a sec. Not really that good though. I guess this one's fairly cheap. Character-wise, we can probably only afford one of them. We'll go for Chosokabe. He's wind and skill. We need skill. And we'll save our tears. Maybe we'll get another one. For the actual squad, we can swap in characters into our squad depending on how their active skills boost our main character. So certain characters have skills that activate when you get a certain combination of emblems or other synergizing characters, but you only get that skill boost when they're in your 6-person squad like this. What I'll do is leave it for now. The formation gives you a boost based on certain parameters. So our normal one is Keyhole, which is the one you start with. It doesn't really do much. It gives us 5% defense. But Long Snake, which is the one I just bought, it gives us 10% speed for our main character, which is better than just the flat defense. The pattern changes activation conditions, which I don't really focus on too much. But we'll want to try and look for something that's going to boost damage, get us our DPS higher. But we can also just have our main character, or our advisor character, Enma, that one little dude who popped up. He's the King of Hell, who's telling us what to do. We can have him recommend a layout, and it'll optimize it a bit better, just to save some time. But we take the speed upgrade. That'll help a bit. Now it's boss time. And this time we're fighting Ginshio. And I have fought this character before. There's a pool of bosses that show up on the floors in this mode. She uses a lot of projectiles. if I hit R2, when that gold bar is completely full, this goes into what's called Assemble. This is a limited time mode where all my characters pop out in sequence. Poof. And they throw attacks until the gold bar is empty. It's a good way to stack on damage, and a lot of stuff is going on screen. And we get a treasure reward for the first 3 zones. These relics. These give you passive boosts for the rest of the run. Green bag, mirror. None of these are that great. The Johan Tenmoku Tea Bowl gives us 3 crystal beads, which lets us get a free additional roll on the trees to choose another character to add to our army, at the cost of all of our Tears of Blood, which is in the upper right in the red. Only have 3750, so I'll take this one. It doesn't give us any lasting effects, but more rolls to add more characters. We've got 4 crystal beads. It's hidden behind my model, but we'll keep an eye out. A good place to use those and get some more things to add. Okay, zone 3, kind of a darker, haunted-ish looking area. Enemy HP and everything's going to go up. Our current floor target's 420. Haha, funny number. As we go through later floors, our target will continue to go up. In addition, the enemy's getting stronger. Ooh, getting close. One more Vigor Emblem gets us to our 12 breakpoint. Kind of explain why I keep mentioning why that's important. For each character that you play in the game, there's 2 base skills they start with. There's skill 1 and skill 2. Skill 1 is different for every character, and actually skill 2 is as well. And we have a bot. Be gone. And so the first skill is the one I'm mentioning here. Nobleman's Authority. If we have 12 or more of an emblem, then it boosts all of the ones we've got across all the different types by 30%. Just gives us more as soon as we hit 12 with something. That is kind of unique and potentially pretty strong. The second skill is tied to the character's weapon, which you have to unlock separately. Every 1,000 hits, we get 5% regen, and then attack against barriers or shields goes up by 20% for every treasure. And we've got 2 so far, so that's 40. 40% is pretty sizable, and I'll top out at 60 because we get 1 more at the end of the zone. So that's why we want to hit 12 and continue to build our emblem totals as high as possible, since that translates directly to damage. Not the most useful there, but it's fine. Okay, 680 targets to take out. Sometimes on the floor, these orbs will spawn. This is a free emblem. Ooh, this gets us to 11. Could get Cao Cao. Skill, wisdom, charm. That's not bad. 3 of them is pretty good. Let's see if we can get vigor. Oh, there we go. Guan Yin Ping, 1 vigor, 1 fire. So that should boost everything up. Yeah, I should have taken it before and after. But now we're up to 15 vigor. 30% is not trivial. Do we have... let's go over here. Enough independence. We need 1 more, I think, to activate our companion character, who's here, Zoltzi. That gets us another 10% total attribute emblems, which I think is just the elements. We'll see. But we need 1 more independent character in order to unlock that, which we could get here. We can re-roll, which is that little arrow icon, the blue thing at the very bottom with the triangle. That re-rolls from the pool of characters. Let's see if we can get independent. The independent thing I keep talking about, in addition to their main attribute emblem, there are those little plates below their names. Those are usually faction or character specific emblems that can go and unlock other things. So like Oichi has the Oda family, Azai family, Flower Vore, and Grace. But we want independent, which is usually the either mercenary or even the guest characters. Okay, Sophie will get that for us. So that's another, should be another 10% boost. Let's see. I think it's only for the elements. We'll look at that and see. Thought it was going to be a straight 40% across the board for everything, but maybe not. Okay, we want this topped out at 18. We're close. 1 more will get us to the max. After you hit 18, you don't get any more perks, and unless you have an additional equip that gives you total amount of damage per emblem, there's no real reason to continue to add characters that boost beyond 18. But we have the one that gives us 1% per vigor emblem, I believe. This won't be priority until we've unlocked most of everything else. Okay, this mission we gotta hunt down these Punish Soul characters and find the one that's not fake. Which is probably you. Wind element. There's all wind element characters in this pool. Give me one of the ones that's got 2. Like Zhang Fei. There he is. Okay, this gets us up to 19. 1 over. That's fine. With 18 vigor maxed out, all our normal attacks throw these shockwaves. And if we power up one of our elements a little bit more, it'll put element on that as well. It's basically higher DPS. All our swings will just stack on more damage, which is good. That's what we want. Now we need more skill. Try and get skill to 12 or 14. I think it's 14. Okay, it's pretty big hike in DPS. Usually, for a damage build, you want to go 18 vigor, 14 skill, and then an element. With this character, we want to get as much as possible. We'll just have to see how RNG favors us. Snake Scales. Okay, that's another free formation. Sima Jiao. Okay, well, he's the only choice here. Snake Scale. Okay, this one does boost damage for every wind emblem, which we don't have a ton of, but it'll be better than the speed one. Okay, getting close to the boss of Zone 3. No, Dao Chan gives us skill and charm. Okay, we'll take that. We need 14. Let me double check that. Yeah, 14 breakpoint for skill. Attributes always applied. It means every one of our attacks will have element, which is pretty handy. Element is a separate multiplier for damage on top of your attack stat, I think. So we want to apply as much of that as possible, be able to take out the different waves. Speed by 25%. Well, that negates our speed bonus loss from switching formations. Okay, now Yuan Shao's got some foot speed. Okay, puts us up to 11. Might be able to hit our breakpoint here. This is a skill sapling. Maybe we'll get Magoichi. That'd be nice. He gives us 2. Okay, 300 KOs on the bonus mission. That'll be easy. Okay, this puts us up to 15 and 12 on Slay. Okay, that's good. Okay, we can actually just bank our crystal beads for something else. So now, because we have that level 14 ability that puts all elements on all attacks, now our shockwave is purple to match our Slay element, which is our highest at 12. We need 14 to get Protective Star. We'll get that in the next zone probably. But now it's boss time. Oh, is that Toto? Yep. Ow, whoa. That's real damage. Free res. That's our companion skill from Zultzi. In fact, let's throw him in here. I haven't done this yet because I keep forgetting. But if we hit L2 when that bar on the left under Zultzi's portrait is full, we can swap to him for a little bit until the bar depletes. And basically we have invulnerability mode, and then free damage. Then he'll swap out once it's empty. Let's get this shield broken. Throw a symbol. Might be enough to drop him. Breaking the shield puts the boss into a stagger state for a bit, and if we, well, and kill him fast enough, but after a certain amount of time they'll recover, and then the shield will go back up and you have to break it again. Oh, woof. I was not paying attention. Well, that's embarrassing. Dying in zone 3. Okay. Alright, so that ends the run. We could see total stats. 27, 36 in attack. So level 25 is our character level for the run. That just resets, but we get 25 cumulative levels banked into a total. 280 health. Attack was 27, 36, which in zone 3 is not bad. Speed 156, defense 821. Battle power is just how well we synergized our squad's abilities, our army's abilities. 1.21, not really high battle power, but that doesn't matter a ton. 40 minutes. It took a little bit to get the build going, but I feel like we would have done pretty well in the 4th zone, having hit 19 and 15 and 16. Okay. And we did not unlock bond level 3. So let's see. I haven't failed a T5 run in a while. Kind of want to run that back. So cumulative level, which is right underneath the character portrait, 24 of 750. Well, it should have given me 25, but I guess it doesn't count level 1. Every time you take a character on a run, however many levels you get when you either win or lose, gets banked, and that total goes up over time. The max is 750. Every 50, you get stat bonuses, permanent stat bonuses for the characters. So that's like your permanent meta stat progression there. We could spend currency to boost it, but I do want to run that back. I see the potential with Yuan Shao. A little RNG dependent until you get that skill on his Nobleman's Authority unlocked, but that's a lot easier than unlocking Zultzi's, which is not all emblems, it's just certain elements. Where's No? That's another character that people have been saying is pretty strong from the Samurai Warrior side. I don't think I have her unlocked. All of the main cast members, and this is a good opportunity to show off what I was talking about with the cast. So if we go to the tree, all these little bubbles with the portraits are playable characters we can unlock. There are formations and other perma stat bonuses we unlock too as we get more of the Karma Ember currency, which is right here. But as you can see, there's a lot of characters. There are 3 guest characters from the Atelier Ryza game, and there are 4 characters from Ninja Gaiden as guests. And each of these characters has their own unique skills. They have a weapon that you can unlock, which I've already done. That's opens skill tube. And they can all be transcended, which is what the little red icon means, which you spend more of the currency to transcend them. They get a stat boost and their skills get upgraded too. So if you wanted to do that for everybody in the entire game, that's a lot of grinding. Alright, where's No? She's Oda. Oda faction, where are they? Up here. So hers attack and attack against barriers 2% for every Slay emblem. She needs 5 grace. Extra wound damage, including level bosses, and upgrades wound damage. Ah, I see. That has the potential to be pretty strong. If we focus on Slay element, the 2R, that's a typo. I'm thinking upcoming update that's going to be fixed. It should be 2%. That's what the R means from what I was reading online. So every Slay emblem is 2% attack and attack against barriers. Okay. In order to unlock characters for companions and get them to start leveling their bond, we need 100 of those red embers, or not red, purple embers in the upper left. Okay, let's test her out. Back in T5, we're going to build the same way. We're going to focus on damage, not so much summons. Let's see if we can do better. Element wise, we want to keep an eye out for Slay again, like that. And Grace. 5 Grace. Okay, we probably should knock that out as soon as possible. We'll take Gracia. Need 5 total. We've got 2. Okay. It's a pretty small investment in the short term. We'll take Wei Yan again. 2 Slay for the price of 1. We need a speed. 1 speed for invulnerable evade and start. that'll work. I'll prioritize vigor again, skill, and slay element. Oh, yeah, and grace too. Till we hit 5. We need 2 more. Free ice. Okay, Dao-chan, she has... Yeah, she's got grace. That's 4. 1 more. Oh, one of these characters should have grace. Oh, there you go. Ayane. One of the Ninja Gaiden characters. That works. So now... Oh, we need Nobunaga too. Okay. The little portrait to the left of the grace thing, 5 out of 5. We need to have a character in our army and grace 5. Okay. Nobunaga is a slay element character, which we need anyway. We need to keep an eye out for him. He's got good emblems in general. I usually will pick him. That might be worth burning a bunch of rerolls on the next slay element sapling. Just to get that unlocked. Nothing too useful. We can go speed. Okay, we get a different boss this time. Floor or zone 1. Ah, there's Hanzo. He's similar to Kunoichi, kind of quick, a bunch of projectiles. You want me standing next to him. I don't think it's gonna be enough damage to one-shot him, one-bar him. This might be close. Yeah, I think that'll get him. Oh, almost. Okay, first relic. 6 secret teachings. Gets us 3 emblems from a random type. Vigor, skill, strength, speed. Okay, I'll take that. 3 wisdom. Alright. Not one of the main ones I'm trying to build, but free's free. Okay, we'll recruit Kai. That puts us up to 4 figure the range. Might be able to get Nobunaga from a skill sapling. He's skill, slay, and I think one other one. We'll see. We have a bead. We can burn it here. Punish souls. I just have to take out 3 of them. There's 2 of them. There aren't any fakes. We just have to either wait for them to come to us or track them down. There's a 3rd one. Who is in the pool? We hit R3, it'll tell us all the characters that are available to roll in this sapling. Yeah, there's Nobunaga. So he's got skill, charm, slay. We need this guy to activate Nose Companion skill. That's gonna be lucky. Let's see. Ooh. This is the dude I was talking about before. Magoichi. He gets us 2 skill emblems, which is good, but I think I want that companion skill active. Hey, there he is. Origins Jiao Yun. Okay, now if we look in here. We got that 2% boost for every slay emblem and upgraded wound damage, which I don't know what that means. Wound is like a DOT. I guess we'll just see if we can notice it proccing differently. Any sort of damage boost is good. It's kind of interesting that it doesn't outright tell us what the upgrade is. Decoy warrior, where you at? There you are. Round Shield, which has the same icon, but this one ups defense for every ice emblem. That's marginally better than the one we start with. Look how Yuan Shao does kind of like a crane kick pose when he throws his Muso. Might be hard to see. Here, let's see if I can zoom in and do it. I need to show Lava this feature next time he joins. There you go. Very fancy. But being able to zoom the camera was something they added in a couple updates ago. The game kind of becomes like a regular Dynasty Warriors game when you take the perspective and you run it in that close, which is kind of cool. I like being able to see where all the enemies are a little bit further away. Get lucky with the sleigh drops. That one's probably going to hit 12 first this time. Yep, it's 10. Maybe we'll get lucky and pull some more in the cauldron. What we want is a formation that gets us... Oh, there we go. 3% for every sleigh emblem. Scissor. That's good. Another cauldron showed up. Okay, coming up the boss next floor. Oh, that is really lucky. Okay, one more. Hit our 12 break point. Who's gonna be this time? Is that Muneshige? Oh, I don't know if I've seen this guy pop up in the boss rotation yet. This is Ginchio's husband. He is Wind Element, and I believe it makes sense if he's primarily projectile focused like she is. Oh boy, that's trouble though. Close range stinger. Oh, real damage. Real damage. And I don't have free res this time, so I need to be careful. One bar. Yeah, 1 bar. Okay. Ooh, Art of War. Okay. Art of War is a really good relic to pull. All formations are immediately unlocked for free. We want the highest level Slay one we can get, which should be 3 stars. 7% for every Slay emblem. Which, how much does that boost our attack by? We're at 2572 at the end of Zone 2. We died in Zone 3, and we had about 25 something. Maybe 27? Okay, so our damage is on track to be much higher by the time we get all the way through, assuming I don't die doing something stupid. This gets us kind of like a light version of the level 18 Vigor ability. Oh boy. On all of our hard attacks, we get shockwaves for a few floors. Nice. Okay, that puts us past 12, so that should be a pretty big boost across the board. But under 50%. There we go. That regen that Yuan Shao's got, it's pretty handy, but he seems kind of squishy in general, so I need to dodge carefully and not get stuck by a lot of those attacks. Not getting lucky with skill emblem drops. Sun Jian. At level 14 Slay, we get the Protective Star level 1, which gets us this orbiting projectile that inflicts Slay damage and overall adds to our DPS. We get to 18, then we get 2 of them. We're gonna go. Bunch of our abilities are tied to Slay. Normally I would go for Vigor, but yeah, I think that's a better play. Well, there's Kenshin. Okay. I think we're doing alright on our damage, but it's definitely going to be driven by whether or not we can max out Vigor in this zone. I don't think, unless we get really lucky, we'll be able to do it for Zone 4, which is not a super big deal. We're still a ways off from being able to hit 14 skill. Ooh, that'll definitely help. Lubu, big boy himself. 2 vigor, 1 skill. Yeah. If we get him or his Origins version, that'll definitely help. Now we're up to 16, so our chances are looking a lot better. We can max out. Maybe we can max out vigor before we get to the middle of this. Well, not the middle now. Before we get to the end, and then kind of go hard pivot into skill. That'll do it. This puts us at 18. All right. It's lucky. I don't really need that much wind. I guess getting the other elements is fine too, since we should be getting the overall boost. Boom. Increase levels by 3. Yeah, we'll take that. We got the shot waves, which will be a huge boost to our DPS. We need to get up to 14 skill to get attribute applied on everything. That should be doable. Oh, this gets us to 18. All right. So now I got 2 protective stars. That's more damage. Alright, we do get continued boosts from more Slay emblems, but I want to try and get skill where it needs to be, so we'll take our chances with this one. Skill sapling would be awesome, but we'll just see what we roll. I lost the gamble. 70-30. Oh, that's nice. What's our attack stat now? 3k would be good. Almost 4k. All right, we're on track. That should pretty much melt anything we run into the remainder of the run. Which should make the boss easier. What a good almost 1.5 points in attack higher than we were before. Just need to be careful not to get hit. Ooh, there's Hayabusa. Don't need the extra vigor, but we'll take the skill. 2 speed. Who's gonna be this time? Rematching Toto? Yep. Alright, Sucka. Ow. we get into trouble, then I'll swap out for no. So we can drop him here. No, it's gonna be under 25%. Not quite. Where are you? There you are. This might kill him. Not quite. But our Protective Stars is chipping away at his health slowly. Good. If he recovered, that would have been a little more dangerous. Okay, it's another 20% increase with Yuan Shao's ability. The third and final relic. Okay. Take red hair. 60 total. Now what's our attack stat? Let's show it. Yeah, 43. Okay. Close to 5k. Close to 5k at the end of zone 4 would be good. Enemy targets 1,000. Kill 400 for the bonus. Okay, skills priority here. Two charm, oh, that's not bad. More summon cooldown. Our cooldown's infinite on 2, 4, and 6 because of that Matsukaze relic we got. Our goal is still get skill 14. Yeah, I guess we could spam Ayane summon on 2. Just additional damage. No reason not to. I use his C2 primarily anyway. Nice. We could swap Nobunaga onto slot 2. I think his summon skill, which should be active now, I don't know if Ayane's is. His should be stronger. We'll do that here. There's the other Lubu. Origins version. Alright, we'll take the skill. Should put us at 11. Okay. Hers Flash Kunai. His Earth Shatter. Let's test that. Yeah, I like the fact that it goes out, then it goes off. So now we have infinite Nobunaga spam. Wow. Okay, it's a lot of damage. And because we can summon Nobunaga with no cooldown, there's no limit to how many times he can be on the field, as long as we just cycle back in our combo to a C2. Oh, that jumps us all the way up to 15. Nice. Okay, now we got Slay on our shockwaves. Looking good. Maybe we can get one of the other elements up to 18. Yeah, or just take more Slay. That's another 2%. Too bad this isn't on a T6 run. So it'd actually be a pretty good farm build for depths. And Void. Well, we'll see. Gotta beat it first. Are you down here? There you are. Guessed right. Okay, now we can take pretty much anything that's going to boost Muso, summons, or element. We got Rally. Oh, we got Charm maxed out. Okay. I wasn't even paying attention to that one. So Rally. Increases attack and defense by 3% for each allied hero in our army, max 150%. So what does that do to our attack stat? 5461. Wow. That's pretty high. Okay. Or we'll go here. Hey, Dr. Liam's here. What's up, Dr. Liam? Welcome to the stream. Dr. Liam says, I've forgotten how to sleep. Sleep is important. Do you keep a bad sleep schedule, Dr. Liam? I know how that goes. I keep a consistently bad sleep schedule. Is your problem falling asleep or staying asleep or both? Because my problem is falling asleep. Usually I can stay asleep for at least 5 to 6 hours, but falling asleep, especially during the work week, is tough. Ah, so you wake up periodically? Have you tried taking melatonin? Sleep apnea, I see. You might want to get tested for sleep apnea. That's pretty serious if you don't do anything about it. Okay, pretty close to maxing out speed. Two more floors, we hit the boss. Okay, we could take... We're not maxed on skill yet. Attack speed 3, that's good. It's pretty fast. And go into the boss in the next phase, which is always Kenshin and Shingen. I've only ever seen those two in the end of Zone 4. Ooh, this gets us 18. Increased power for all attributes. Yeah, that's worth it. Do we want to swap anybody in is the question. Maybe Slay Element? We'll see what boosts our overall synergy. 278, 296, 624. That'll work. Dr. Liam says, I'm trying to contact my doctor, but medical stuff being medical stuff in the USA, it's got to be hell to do so. Oh yeah, but I would keep trying so you get the situation checked out properly before it becomes something more annoying. Alright, there's Kenshin. That shield damage is bananas, wow. Alright, life damage is bananas. One bar him. Man, alright. Okay, now we have to fight second boss, Takeda Shingen. One bar this guy? Oh, maybe. Alright. Oh, I was close. I almost recovered. Dr. Liam says, tell me a music note and I will try to write out how I think it sounds. Interesting. C sharp. Okay, here's our final cauldron for the boss. I think we gotta go Shun Yu. I guess we can just buy everybody. It's fine. Interesting. Reading your description of what you think it sounds like with no pitch inflection is definitely different than just trying to sound out the note. I couldn't tell you what a C sharp sounds like. I don't have perfect pitch. What about a G? Okay, this is Goma. This is the boss of the run. He's kind of getting worked over pretty hard. Oh, I forgot I can infinite spam Nobunaga. First phase is a little bit slower, more projectile and summon based, but second form is a little stronger. I think he's still going to get murdered pretty hard. Our stats are high. Ow. But he does do real damage. So do we. One bar him? Nice. Alright. Much better. I think I will save this particular clear to take into the extra modes, which maybe we'll do for the remainder of the stream. I will have to head out shortly. But I can show off one of the other modes using this character. That'll be fun. Nocturne says, I'd say it sounds like a goose drowning in its own blood and mucus while trying to kill you. So, like... Especially if it's a Canadian goose. Those guys are jerks. I think I've talked on stream many times about how I can sort of read, but I can't write music in notation, which is why it's especially noteworthy because I make music, but I can't write it in classic notation. I have to do everything by ear. Okay, let's take stock of our overall stats of this run before I accidentally hit the wrong button. Level 37, 280 health, that's the same. 6442 is decently high attack. That's pretty good. 156 speed, 2143 defense, also not bad. Our battle power when we failed in Zone 3 before was 1.5 million. Now it's 18.7. That's pretty good. Total assemble damage, just not a big deal. 41 minutes. Okay, much better. And we got Node up on level 2. That's nice. We need 3 for the next skill unlock. Almost halfway. Oh, we got Records of Sin. I forgot we get those too. Okay. Let's save the clear. We'll put this... Who should we overwrite? We'll overwrite Lucian. I'll give you another one, Dr. Liam. What about a... Let's do F sharp. F sharp, so that's a half step below G that I just gave you. Okay. Yeah, Lucian. We'll overwrite his. Dr. Liam says my eyeballs feel stale. Blink. Blink, man. Blink. Don't let your eyeballs dry out. Okay. So depths of Torment and Void of Ephemerality are two sort of endurance modes that we can take clear data into for a different run, as it were, to try and unlock stuff. So we'll take Yuan Shao in there and we'll see how he does. Because he has the highest attack, I think, out of any of the clears, even the T6 ones, which is kind of nutty. Oh no, he's not higher than Zul. Let's see. It's close. considering he doesn't have cumulative levels and this guy's maxed, that is still pretty nutty. Okay, in this mode, we go through kind of a randomized set of levels with no bosses, but we've got 15 minutes to get as far as possible. And each floor, instead of getting a sapling, we'll get a debuff. So it gets progressively more difficult, and we want to try and get as far as possible, and that determines our rewards. And we have to hit 15 total enemy kills per round in order to move on. Dr. Liam says, F-Sharp sounds like a squid trying to deep throat either the stock of a musket or a shovel handle. I'm leaning towards shovel handle. What do you mean shovel handle? Oh, like trying to deep throat a shovel handle. I couldn't tell you how accurate that is because I don't know exactly what pitch an F-sharp is. I just know it's a half step lower than regular G. Can you do chords? I don't know chords at all. I know the names, but I couldn't tell you what goes into them. G minor 7. So it's got to have, I think, at least a G in it, but I don't know what else is in it. Okay, in this mode, killing the bosses does get us currency, which I'm blocking, but gets us these yellow embers or green embers, and the more of those we get by the time the run ends, the better rewards we get at the tally. Health and barriers by 5%. Or the total number of kills goes up to 1550. Okay, we have to pause because I'm on it. The timer continues to tick down if I don't do anything. For G minor 7, Dr. Williams says it sounds the same as the drowning goose, but the goose is also strapped to the cuck chair while his wife is being done by a lobster that can only scream in pain. It is such eloquent descriptions, which is par for the course for Dr. Liam. What you need to do is find like a classical music teacher and explain this way of evaluating notes and sounds to them and see what they say. We can't get free element drops on this mode. We've got to go for pure damage as fast as possible, which I should probably be spamming Nobunaga more. Occasionally we will get a sapling, so we can continue to improve our build, which is nice. Let's see. How much ice do we got? Okay, ice is higher. Yeah, the music teacher would either think that or their head would explode. I'm not a classically trained musician, so I can't say one way or another. There's Tamahami the Wraith. And there it goes. Now, do you have a musical background, Dr. Liam? Obviously, you have a medical background. But are you a musician? I don't know if I've ever heard you talk about music in other streams. Ah, plays. So you're a theater person. I do not have a theater background either, but I know a lot of theater people. I probably could have been. I was in band briefly, but it was a long time ago, in the 50s. Yeah, I got you. Acting, stage plays. That's cool. Okay, I think there is a floor limit in Void, but I think my personal best is maybe 17 or 18 floors. Because again, we have 15 minutes to get as far as possible, and depending on how the debuffs make it more difficult, will determine how fast we're going to go. But we're making decent time so far. It's going to put us at around 10k in embers. Yep. Spirit Essence, that's the name of the currency. So we get a total amount for clearing the floor. And then if we take out the bosses, the mini bosses, then we get a little bit as a bonus. So we'll see how well we do. This will be the last thing we do on stream today. There's two of them. And they're very dead. And mini bosses keep respawning. I think at random. As long as they go down pretty quickly, you get the bonus. Hey. Dare you. Timer stops when I clear the floor. It's a good time to read chat. Dr. Liam says, I've tried to dabble with music. 99% of the time it sounds like somebody getting an enema from a keyboard, being violently shoved in and out, always forced to sing Michael Jackson songs. And I've tried writing. Good descriptions, but formatting is where I struggle. Well, you definitely are not bad at descriptive prose. I'll give you that. Ooh, okay, this gets us up to 7 bolts. Another 50 kills, 1600. Formatting and writing is a challenge. I have to do not primarily editing work, but in my job I have to do a lot of essentially reading of other people's writings, and I function in some fashion kind of like an editor. And so I read a lot of narrative. It's not fiction or like literature narrative, it's more like Legal, almost regulatory narrative. Not the most sexy stuff, but I read a lot of writing as part of my job, so I get that. It's very technical type of written narratives that I review. Okay, floor 7 with 10 minutes to go. I think we're making pretty good time. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Oh well. Health and barrier by 5%. That's tankier enemies. Veteran warrior. Should get that one off the field as quick as possible. Those are dangerous. Two more. Oh, 2 at a time? Oh, no, that's... Yeah, it's veteran. Those are the normal... One of the 2 normal Zone 4 bosses. Bloodthirsty Warrior and Veteran Warrior. They have Lu Bu and Honda Tadakatsu's movesets, respectively. Bloodthirsty is Louis, and Veteran is Tadakatsu. They're decently challenging to fight. Right. 22,000 embers. If we want good rewards, we want to hit around 70 or 80 on a T5 clear. Ooh. Lulingchi. Okay, we'll take her. That's another 2%. Dr. Liam says, I've written horror stories. I wrote one about a town ravaged by this beast that I described as a mouth of uneven flesh. In certain parts, the skin sagged, and in other parts, it looked like the skin would rip if it stretched much further. It was slimy like a slug as well. I could only tell it was from its skin because a pore sprayed some at me in some act of what I assume was self-defense. Interesting. Sounds like cool creature design. As you've no doubt seen, if you've ever been by my drawing streams, creature design is one of my favorite things to work on from like an art perspective versus writing. Been on a real like Eldritch kick ever since I beat Look Outside. Which is your stream reminder to play Look Outside. That game's awesome.
think I need to focus on getting my kill totals up, moving on to the next floor, instead of just killing the mini-bosses. Dr. Liam says, mine too. I like to design creatures that feel just within the bounds of reality. If you saw that it existed in real life, you'd be afraid to go outside. That makes sense. I especially like more of the abstract and like eldritch / cosmic horror, which was something I liked before I played on the Through Look Outside. It's just that game just pulled me back into that aesthetic and style more, because that's what it is. Makes me want to go back and start working on pixel art some more. I don't think a game has really scratched that kind of eldritch, cosmic horror itch for me since Bloodborne. You may never see another Bloodborne anything ever again. And that makes me sad. Very sad. Oh. I do agree. I could be Squidward. That would be worse. What do you mean I have no nose? I have a nose. You can see it in my model right there. And you don't know if I'm bald or not. This could be a wig. There is a dot. Yes. Still a nose. My last version of this model had a bit more of a pronounced version of the nose. But it also kind of looked weird sometimes, depending on what angle you were looking at it. Hey. Just pick me up. Okay, 4:12, 5 minutes to go. A Waluigi nose. That would just be silly. Not that I'm planning on getting a new model anytime soon, but I'm gonna have to think about what I'd want to do for the next one. I really want a homeworlder version of my model, but I would need someone that's good at rigging a model with something that's not humanoid. Now we gotta blow through floor 13. We gotta go for the record. Guess go element. The enemies are definitely getting tankier though. They're not getting dropped all in one hit. Ooh, we got a small one. Alright, we'll do that right now. Let's see how long it takes me to remember to turn it off. Got 4.5 minutes remaining. We're at 39,000 Spirit Essence. Which is not bad. I want to get that up as high as possible to get better rewards. Alright, Dr. Liam, you're headed out. I'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by and chatting. Hope we have a good rest of your day. Good luck killing Goku. You were told to relay a message to me? Uh-oh, by whomst? Actually, I'll probably be able to tell by the message itself. Oh yeah, I'm sure you did forget. Prepare for unforeseen consequences? That sounds like a threat. I'm always prepared for unforeseen consequences. Very, very ominous. Thanks for relaying the message. I will no longer be opening any packages that get delivered to my house from now on. Two and a half minutes. I think I'm going to beat my actual record. Let's see. We're headed to floor 15. Even the mini bosses aren't dying as quickly. Minute and a half. I think we're gonna probably end on 16 or 17. If we'd done better with building Element and got everything maxed, probably would have got us further. I see the potential at Yan Xiao now. I see why they're talking about him being pretty nuts. Put some cumulative levels on the guy and maybe get a further optimized build. Definitely requires more research. Just wish his combos are better. Gonna be a stretch to be 416. Hail Mary's throwing a symbol. We topped 50 Spirit Essence though. That's good. Ooh, all right. Just enough to get to 17, and then we'll promptly fail. $53 Spirit Essence. I think we get a clear bonus too. All right. Like 1,000? Okay. Ended at 7782 total attack, so a little bit higher. Oh, we do get bond for that. Okay, not a lot, but I get some. Records of Sin. Anything good? No level 5s. I guess we need a T6 clear. Oh, and then these are really that good. Okay, well. That's fine. Let's see, what's our cumulative level at with Yuan Shao now? 50. Oh, he's pretty close to 100. All right. I see the potential. I would like to experiment around with builds on this character a bit more. Okay. Well, I'd say that was a good experiment. One failed run, one successful run. Could be worse. Let's see who is online that we can raid. Maybe we can find someone else that's playing this. Does not look like anyone is actively playing this. Oh, let's see. Lib is online. I haven't raided them in a while. They're playing Pokopia. Okay, we can go see how the Pokopia is going over on Liberty's stream. And we can turn off the timer. So we'll get that muted. We'll queue up the raid and we'll go to outro. And we'll call that a stream. We will be back. I don't know what I'm doing next week. Probably Saturday. No, not Saturday for sure. I think we got a thing Saturday. I'll have to figure out my schedule, and I might have to go pop up next week on the fly. But we'll definitely be back with more Monster Hunter Stories 3 and see what else we're going to do. Well, in the meantime, thanks for everyone who came by and hung out. Hope everyone's gonna have a good morning, day, or evening. And I will definitely catch you folks in the next one. Now let's see how the I know nothing about Pokopia is going on Lib's channel. Catch you folks later.